At this time, the former police officer and his daughter also came for Sarai case in the past. The father let his daughter sit alone and then went out to talk to Sarai. The girl saw the cute cat and immediately chased after. She accidentally got lost and everyone searched but couldn't find her. Luckily, fate helped her met Director Kang. She lent her phone to call her father. Then the police officer and Sarai came to pick up her child. But with their police skills, the father quickly discovered that someone was following them. He suddenly turned around and caught sight of this guy and stole this camera. It turned out this guy was always lurking around to take pictures of Director Kang's whereabouts. Needless to say, they knew it was a trick of the chairman, which means that the chairman is very cautious. When Chairman Jang saw Yi So's shop's advertisement for Itaewon class, he saw that Yi So is really talented. Now, he is worried not only because Sarai, but also Yi So. The secretary also announced that his surveillance of Director Kang had been exposed, but the chairman did not panic and said to ignore her. Now, the most important thing is to drag Yi So come back to work for them. Hearing this made Sua extremely shocked. At the same time, the secretary said that the policeman was the one who provided food for Soroi. The president immediately ordered that the policeman be bribed. That night Soroi went to meet. In a romantic atmosphere, he said he liked Sua. Unexpectedly, the next morning when he came to the restaurant, Yi So said that if he dated Sua, she would quit the job. At the same time, the president called the policeman who provided food for Soroi came to his house. Mr. Jang tempted him to give up Soroi and sign a contract with Jenga. But the past has taught the former policeman. Now, he just wants to be a good example for daughter. So even though the chairman offered him an extremely lucrative contract, the former police officer still refused, saying he believed that Danbam would surpass Jenga in the future. The president threatened that if he opposes him, there is only a way to die. The police officer thought he was going to harm his daughter, so he held his hand tightly. He threatened the president again and said he was the police officer in the case 10 years ago. If there was any problem with his family, he will turn the case over, making the chairman extremely worried. While his son John Won comes to find Yi So, John Won announced to everyone that he wanted to invite Yi So to work. Yi So asked him out for drinks, making Sarai at home extremely worried. John Won lured Yi So into Jenga Group with a huge contract. The new position is the marketing director. At the same time, he offered a salary of 250,000 won a month, 50 times the current salary, making Yi So stunned. She pretended to agree because admired him, then flattered this guy to Cloud9, tricking him into telling the whole truth about the car crash, and killed Saroi's father 10 years ago. We're all recorded by Yi So. John Won knew she was trapped in stealing her phone, but Yi So was faster. He was about to hit her when hot coffee was thrown in his face. She declared that anyone who dared to touch Sarai would kill that person. But John Won is not the average person. He chased after and grabbed Yi So and immediately gave her a slap. This guy forcibly demanded to steal the phone. Yi So was helpless and could only scream for help. People saw this, and there were a lot of people around. Was full of money and threw it in the air. Everyone was busy picking up money, so no one paid attention to them anymore. Thought Yi So would easily have his phone stolen. When was in danger, Sarai came to the rescue. Eyeing that Yi So's face was injured, Sarai was extremely angry and tried to hit John Won. Luckily, Yi So stopped Sarai in time to avoid getting caught in his trap. As soon as the police were there, promptly took John Won away. To thank Sarai, hugged Yi So. This was also the first time she feels so happy. Even though she was in pain, Yi So said the time had come. She posted the recording online. This caused Jong-A Group shares to plummet miserably. Chairman John angry, he beat his destructive son. Gunwon also felt extremely humiliated when he was beaten. Director Khan witnessed everything, knowing in her heart that he could not serve such an incompetent person in the future. So she immediately went to see Sarai. Yi So said, because the stock price was falling and shareholders were in turmoil. So this is the opportunity to thoroughly take down Chairman Jang. But first the former police officer must testify that Gunwon killed Sarai's father. The next morning, they went to the former police officer's house. He was frantically looking for his child. Director Khan discovered her sitting alone in a chair. It turned out that she knew her father had done wrong in the case 10 years ago. Sae-roy saw father, and the daughter was very sentimental. He had to postpone asking them to testify. Yi-so said that the second condition to take down Chairman Jang was when Chairman Jang stood up to defend Goon-won in a wrong way. At the same time, Chairman Jang also met with the lawyers to find a way to deal with it. Sue suggested that Goon-won must be sent to prison to save the company. If Director Kang betrayed him, the chairman would be dismissed. Although the advice was very wise, she did not expect that Chairman Jang would refute it. He firmly affirmed that he would rather leave the company than leave his son. Sue quickly reported this news to Director Kang and Sae-roy. Thinking everything went well, so Director Kang immediately held an internal meeting to propose the dismissal of Chairman Jang, because he let his family's feelings seriously affect the company, completely unaware that he had fallen into his trap. The next morning, the shareholders' meeting to remove the chairman took place. Indeed, during the meeting there was a rebellion. Jang suddenly told the whole truth about the case that year, agreeing to send his son to prison to save the company, causing the group's dismissal plan to completely collapse. Director Kang said, realized that she had been deceived. At the same time, the chairman's driver took Goon-won to surrender. Seeing this, he quickly got out of the car and ran away, rushing all the way to where his father had a press conference. Goon-won recognized his father, sold himself out for the position of president of the company. The bitter son shed 2 tears. Jang left with an expressionless face, realizing that the plan had failed. Sae-roy was extremely desperate. The chairman called Director Kang to sarcastically say a few sentences. Seems very young and green. I have underestimated a sinister old man like that too much. The president then demoted Mrs. Kang to be an employee of a small branch. This failure made her spirit go down. Now, there is only hope for his fighting effort. The next day, the trial took place. Goon-won killed Sae-roy's father, so he was sentenced to 7 years in prison. Even so, Chairman Jang was still very comfortable. The company was everything. After this, Sae-roy immediately went to his father's grave. It took him 11 years to catch the person who harmed his father and pay for crime. Sae-roy offered his father a glass of wine like the last time they drank together. Really, the wine is still as bitter as his heart when he lost his father. Jun-soo decided to quit his job because his brother was in prison, so he wanted to go home to get his inheritance, because Yi-so had said she would give him a chance if he takes over Junga. Gyun-won is currently in prison. Soo-ah comes to announce that his father has revoked all his shares, making Gyun-won crazy. He did not expect his father to be so evil, and Gyun-soo also returned to see his father. He said he would listen to everything his father said. As long as he inherited Junga, he told his father that he would build Junga to become strong. Seeing the ambition of the son, the president was very happy. He immediately transferred the job to Soo-ah, forcing her to train Jun-soo to become the best. At the restaurant, the chef had plastic surgery to become beautiful. When preparing to cook for the show, Tony was distracted, so he mistakenly put curry powder in the dish. He only quickly noticed it and screamed loudly. This mistake created a delicious new flavor. Dan Bam's curry dish won the first prize, which helped raise Dan Bam's reputation. Investors came looking to expand the Dan Bam brand. This was a great opportunity to create a franchise brand. Yi-so naturally realized that this was great. She compiled a book about the characteristics of Dan Bam. Ready to invite investors and franchise, Sae-roy thinks now is not the time, while Yi-so said that having someone invest is a golden opportunity. If they open one by one, they will never catch up with Junga, resulting in a heated argument between the two. Ho-jin also saw Yi-so plan is very correct. A man while on this side, investors are constantly calling to urge Yi-so. If she is slow, they will invest in another restaurant, causing Yi-so a huge headache. She dragged Sae-roy to the rooftop, nagging about opening a chain of restaurants. Upon hearing this, Sae-roy no longer hesitated. He decided to take a risk this time with Yi-so. The two of them were completely unaware that they had fallen into Chairman Jang's trap. They immediately came to meet that talented investor. He appreciated that Dan Bam had a very talented manager. Taking that opportunity, Se Roy firmly offered 5 billion won for the franchise.